Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our channel. This is my green card story where we talk about everything EB2 NIW. And today we will be sharing the common trends and the approval rate of EB2 NIW over the last 5 years. My name is Olanike and I have with me Dr. Bobola Akitomide. So, welcome.
Thank you, Nike, for that introduction. I'm so happy to talk about this. So let's dive deep into
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 it.
it. Okay. So re- recently, USCIS released a document that shows the approval rate for EB2 for the last 5 years. So
Yeah.
this
Episode.
episode is based on that document. So
Yeah.
we have extracted all the figures and the data in that document, and we're trying to discuss it and elaborate on why there's variation in the approval rate for EB2. So
Okay.
the first figure that you see in that document is showing from I-140 category EB2. Okay, so this is showing how many people turn in their petition for EB2 NIW and also
Yeah.
the approval rate. Okay, so sorry, I said EB2. It's for both EB2
EB2 and
and
EB2
EB2 NIW.
NIW.
So let me
Yes.
explain the difference. EB2 are those that have a job and their employer filed a labor certificate for them. So after the employer obtain a labor certificate, the employer will now turn in a petition for EB2 for them. Whereas EB2 NIW is when you are telling the USS to waive the requirement for a job and a labor certificate, and that they should approve your petition because your proposed endeavor has national interest. So for EB2
Yes.
NIW, you don't need an employer; you can file by yourself.
Hmm.
So for everything that we're going to show you, anytime you see EB2, USS has actually lumped both EB2 and EB2 NIW
NIW.
together. Okay.
Okay.
So, Nick, let's talk about the general trend in terms of the number of petition or receipt that USIS received for both EB2 and EB2 NIW between 2018 and 2023. You can see that in general, there was an increase, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
however, between 2022 and 2021, you can see that there's a decrease. So for
Hmm.
people watching us, the blue line is the number of petition that USS received. They
Received.
just indicated it as receipts. So, Nike,
Hmm.
what are you saying from this figure?
Well, for me, I think it's very important for us to also tell our listeners that Dr. Akitomide applied in 2018. I applied somewhere like in between 2020. And since my green card story, since the inception of my green card story, we've kept on working with our clients into 2023 and 2024. So we have a very good, perspective to what's been going on. I can see that in 2018, we have, of course, lower number of even just like the petition generally from the employers or from people filing by themselves, maybe because a lot of people didn't know about NIW or the EB2 generally at that point. I can see like it's just about 69,000 applications for the EB2 category, and the approval is 72,000. So you might be thinking, how is receipt lower than approval? That might be like a carryover from people that applied from 2017, so they
Yeah,
had like larger number of approval, and that approval kept going up until 2020. And I want Dr. Babola to just shed more light on that 2020. We all know what happened during 2020. That was when I applied, but as we all know, there was COVID. A lot of backlogs were happening. A lot of people were not even submitting at that point because they lost their jobs, or employers were not seeing reasons to, apply for people at that point. So you can see that deep dive down in 2020. And that also affected the rate of approval, right?
Yeah,
So
I you can see that in 2020, as of 2020, only 67,600 people, sorry, petition were turning for EB2,
yeah,
EB2 and EB2-NIW, and by 2021, it was 70,600. So don't forget that during 2022, that was when there was COVID. So sorry, during 2020, that was when there was COVID lockdown. People were staying at home. A lot of
yeah,
people lost their jobs. So
yeah,
a lot of people did not have money. So you could see that. I believe that's why there was a decrease in the number of people that are turning their petition. Also,
I
because people
do
were
as
staying
well.
indoor, some cities like where I was living then, they for like 3 weeks, nobody went out, so we're all indoors. So that means even if you decide to put your application together, you can't even go out to go and mail it.
Yeah.
So I believe that also contributed to the decrease in the number of petitions that was turning in 2020.
Yeah, and just the general workforce of the USCIS at that point. Because even up to 2021, we can see that although the receipts started coming up, so the approvals sorry, the petition, people that submitted applications started coming up to 70,000, but because they didn't have enough hands, you see, the approval is just like 57 still in 2021. We were still battling with COVID.
Yeah.
But as we started coming out of the COVID problem, USCI started seeing the need to make things more efficient and faster. They started getting more applications, and more approvals started rolling in. A lot of countries, I would say, also started getting involved with this EB2 things. So people outside the US, applications outside the US started coming in as well for EB2 and EB2-NIW.
Okay.
So that thing just climbed up in
Okay.
2022, like we could see.
So another thing came to my mind. I remember, I think in 2020 or maybe 2021,
Mhm.
USCIS was almost running out of money, if you can remember, and they went to US Congress
Yeah.
to get some fund. So I think that also contributed to the decrease in the approval rate in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
Also, another I'd like to mention is that 2020 to 2021, people were working remotely. So I believe that the adjudicating officer were working from home. So that might have probably slowed down how many petitions they could work on at the time. Because I think you filed in 2020, right, Nike? And
Yes.
how long when did you turn in your petition, and how long
It took a
did it
year
take
before they
to,
even approved it.
okay, so you can see that it took a year before they even approved Nike's petition, and she turned in her
Yeah.
petition in, I think, October
2020. In
2020,
May
in May
2020.
2020. So that means even though some people turned in their petition, but US said it took a lot of time for them to review those petitions. So that can also account for the decrease in the approval rate in 2020 and 2021. But in general, you can see that the number of petitions has almost doubled between 2018 and 2023. So as at 2018, 69,930 petitions were submitted for both EB2 and EB2-NIW, and by 2023, it's now
93.
93,010. Nike, what do you think about the approval rate over the last 5 years? I think it has not really doubled, right? It has just increased by
Well,
almost 10,000.
yes, I wouldn't say the approval rate has increased drastically as much as the petition being submitted, or the applications that USCIS has been receiving. And I don't know, like between 2022 and 2023, you can see that sharp drop in approval, right? I don't know if it's more skewed towards NIW or employer based petitions. We just know this is EB2, right? But you can see that like 10,000 drop in approval. So I would say approval has been, I'd say up and down.
Okay.
It's been, yeah,
Okay.
that
Let
one has been sketchy.
okay. Let's look at the next figure that I found in that USS document. So this next figure is petition receipt for STEM, non-STEM, and unknown field. And like I said,
And
this is showing data for both EB2 and EB2 NIW. So
I'm really
Nike,
excited for us to talk about this one
so in general,
because
what can you see? What is the trend for people that are applying the STEM field and the non-STEM field? What can you see from this data?
okay, I'm like I said, I'm really excited to talk about this one because as consultants, we get that question a lot. Like, non-STEM, can I apply for EB2 NIW? What are my chances? Or I'm not in STEM, what are my chances? So this figure accurately shows that over time, over the 5 years, in consideration of this analysis, people have been applying outside STEM for NIW and for EB2. So you can as well apply. So just the national importance, if you're applying for NIW, is very important. And what I can see with this is that STEM,
Which is the
like,
one in blue,
which
in
is the
light
one
blue.
in blue, is the general belief that this category, this EB2 or EB2 NIW, is for STEM people. This figure also kinds of depicts that. And as it goes up a little bit and goes down and goes up, you can still see it maintaining that trend. It's about 59,000, sorry, 54,000. That's like, I don't even know. That's
Mm,
like 10 times, more than 10 times those that are the categories unknown. So I can see that although people are getting to know, so if you compare 2018 to 2023, you can see for unknown category moving from 3,000 to like 16,000. So people are getting, the awareness that even if my category cannot be said to be STEM or non-STEM, I can apply. We can see that knowledge being transferred to people and people getting involved, but it's not anything near STEM still. So I can
For
see that
for for
for
for for
STEM,
for non okay for STEM. Okay.
in 2018, we see that the changes are till 2023. The changes are not much. In 2018, 54,000 were STEM. 54,000 application were STEM, and in 2023 it's still about 54,000. So it's just the general knowledge out there. There was a little spike in 2022 with 61,000 people. I want to say, I want to guess, okay, that that's like a lot of consideration being given to health sector and just their impact during COVID and how they were really helpful. Researchers, STEM based people, and but it's not a lot of change, compared to say non-STEM 12,000 to 22,000
Yeah,
and
and
unknown.
I'm seeing that the non-STEM has almost doubled. So the non-STEM is the one shaded in green from
Yes.
12,700 to 22,690. It has almost doubled. So
Yeah.
why do you think it has doubled over the last 5 years?
For non-STEM, right?
For me, I would say the awareness, because as of 2018, most people believe that EB2 and EB2 is just for STEM people.
STEM people.
But you can see that it started picking up around 2021, 2022. That was also when COVID happened, lockdown. So people started getting more information about EB2 and EB2-NIW. That was when people started making more videos about it.
Yes,
So I remember
and
when I applied in 2018 and I looked on YouTube, I think I only found one video about EB2-NIW. And that video was about the timeline
okay.
for applying for EB2 and getting your
You can
EAD card
imagine
and
how
green card.
scarce
I,
information
I, I
was
didn't find
then.
any information about what it entails, the eligibility, the supporting document, how to write a cover letter. I did not find any video like that. But by 2022, 2021, people started making a couple of videos. So there was a lot of knowledge out there. So I guess I believe that that knowledge help people in the non-STEM field. How about you? Do you have
Then,
anything to add to that?
yeah, so, when you're submitting your application, I want to say for the EB2 employer based, like if your employer is applying for you or you're applying by yourself, and that's NIW. When you're trying to make your case, the fact that you're not like having the background in STEM, there are some occurrences that will help you to attribute your proposed endeavor to STEM or to areas that are of importance to the US. So, take for example, we had COVID, right? And we had people in supply chain, people in computer science helping to solve the problem of COVID, which was a matter of national urgency. So, you being able to attribute whatever your non STEM or unknown field of study or the industry you worked for to something that is of importance to the US just by the things that were happening or they were really urgent for us to take care of as a nation became really evident with COVID, if I may say that.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the last data that we have. So this data shows EB2 receipts, that's the number of
Mhm,
petitions that were submitted,
mhm.
and it's actually showing both EB2 and EB2 NIW.
This one
So,
separating both.
so this one is separating uh, people that are claiming national interest waiver from people that are not claiming national interest waiver.
That their employer was
So the non
doing this for them.
NIW is for those that the employer turning that petition for them.
Mhm.
So what do you think? There's something very interesting about this bar chart. I guess this is the bar chart, right? There's something interesting about it. So can you tell us what's obvious about this data?
What is obvious is that NIW is winning. So it is obvious that self petitioning, people trying to associate whatever they do, STEM, non STEM, unknown, to national importance, to get that waiver of employment certification, or labor certificate is really obvious. See, in 2018, just 12% of the applications were
Including mine.
NIW, including yours. You, the forerunners, right? So going to when I submitted mine, it wasn't double, but it was almost double. So you can see like a 10% increase, and compared now to 2023, oh Lord, that's about that's a lot
So
actually.
so so
So
so so so, so that means if about 10,000 people turn in that petition for EB2
mhm,
NIW in 2018,
in
that means
2018,
the percentage has increased over 300%.
yeah,
Because if it's 43%, that means I don't know,
yeah,
it has increased drastically.
in
Because
yeah,
I don't know the exact number. I mean, we have the exact number in the previous
no,
slide, but
mhm.
the number of people that are turning in the application based on EB2 has increased significantly. 43% is a lot. So,
That jumped at me, and I really don't know. This stacked graph is, I have my PhD, but it's just a very way. There's a way you need to be careful to interpret it. It doesn't mean the number of employer based whatever is reducing. It just means that comparatively,
yeah.
it's changing. It's changing between, relatively, it's changing between NIW and employer based.
So I think one of the reasons why we are seeing an increase in EB2 NIW is because a lot of people now that in their master's program and PhD, they are applying for EB2 NIW. Okay? During my time as at 2018, I knew only one person
That
that
done it.
that had done it. And I didn't know him. I knew his cousin. So his cousin told me that, oh, he,
It's something like this
someone has
NIW.
applied for EB2 NIW. That was the only person that I know.
Mhm.
So I did not know of any other person. Okay. But now I'm seeing a lot of cases in which there are people that just came to the US, they just started their PhD or master's program. I don't want to apply for EB2 and EB2. So the knowledge is out there, and because of that,
Yeah.
a lot of people are applying. Okay, so I think
Yeah.
that has contributed to the increasing number of petitions for EB2 and NIW, and also the number of approval rates for EB2 and NIW.
Yeah.
That'd be
So,
my.
like I said earlier, also the people outside the United States,
Oh, that's true.
in other countries, they're becoming really aware of this NIW. So you don't need an employer in the US, and you can actually move to the US. I think that's tremendous.
And
So those
and
people
and,
have started applying as well.
and for us,
And
we have seen people that have called us or reached out to us from Canada, from
UK,
France, from
yeah, from
United
all over
Kingdom, from
as
South
well.
Africa, from Kenya, from
Yeah.
the Caribbean. Where else? I think from United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, someone
Okay.
from France also.
Yeah, someone from France. That I
Reached
remember
out
that
to
person
us.
from France. So a lot of people are thinking about it. A lot of people are applying. Okay.
Yeah, so and I really don't know, but a lot of people as well, they know that this category, like you said, they can apply while they are still studying.
Okay.
They don't need like an employer.
So
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 they are in their masters and they're already applying. And some people actually have jobs. They have their employer applying for them on one side, and they are also doing NIW on their own side, so
yeah.
that they are just doing everything concurrently. So whichever one falls through first. So I
So
think those things.
so last question for those that are watching us right now and they need help with their petition, like specifically in drafting their petition cover letter or reviewing the letter that they
They've
have
written.
written. Let's explain to them the kind of service that we render. So, Nick, in 1 minute, can you tell us the two main services that we render?
Yes, so we render two main services, and these services will apply for fresh application. That means you've never applied, you're just applying for the first time. Or if you got an RFE and you need us to help you to respond. So those two services, we call one premium and we call the other review service. The premium service is all encompassing. We're going to help you with your cover letter, with a sample recommendation letter. We're going to have series of meetings with you evaluating this letter, and we are all going to conclude that this is a good letter that will get you a first time approval. Also, if it's for you, you want a premium service for your RFE response, we are going to do the same. We are going to review your initial petition, look at why they gave you an RFE, and help you to write an entirely different, compelling response that will get you that will get you a good response or an approval. So the second one
The
as
review.
well, the review, if you are a first time applicant and you've written it by yourself, you want just the second eye, just the consultant that has been doing this for so many years to see what you've done. That one, you would contact us and we'll help you look through the letter you've written by yourself. So
Okay.
review like the name states. Also, if it's that you got an RFE and you've answered everything in the RFE by yourself, you think you've done a good job addressing every concern they raised, and you want just a second person, I would say a professional to take a look at what you've written as your RFE response, you can also contact us for the review service. So both of these services, they are on our website. Whichever one you want, you can contact us and we'll be willing to hold your hand and help you get that approval. So those are the two main services we render, and our website is www.mygreencardstory.com.
So I'm going to advise anyone watching us that is thinking of applying for EB2 NIW to schedule a consultation with us through our website. Okay. And also follow us on our YouTube channel. And if you want us to help you to draft your project cover letter, you need to start from first scheduling a consultation with us. So
Yeah.
the web address will be in the
The
description
caption.
portion
Yeah.
of this YouTube video. Also, our email address will also be in the description portion of this YouTube video. Also, our various social media handle
Handles.
will be on it. So, thank you so much. Nika, do you have any closing remark for people before we end today's episode?
Well, thank you all for listening. And if you have any question, you can also drop it down this video, or you can go in on our website and book a consultation so we can address your questions, your personal questions. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.